Okay, this is Mike, day 3 of your L34 canoe instructor course on the Potomac. We're going to look at two different videos, one from the Chutes on the left, one from Yellow Falls on the right. And Mike, you were expressing concern about generating momentum, and I wanted to highlight a couple ways that you can, in the moves we are working on, use a little bit more of what the river is offering you to help with momentum, and that's a concern that can be specific to solo canoes. So let's look at the video on the left initially. Here you do a good job generating some momentum without using any stern corrections. And you leave on a fairly tight carve here. Exit angle perpendicular, which is okay because you know that you want to enter this eddy low. So you're able to stay on your on side, on the downstream side, on the ferry. All of that is really great for generating and maintaining momentum. We'll work a little bit more on how to carve most effectively out of an eddy, but for this particular move you do a really good job with that. And look, this lands you in the bottom of the eddy, but not in the draining part of the eddy. What I want you to watch is the bow pinning wave and how much of it is on the inside of your eddy turn here. I think you'll find this illuminating. We get some pretty big splash there. And as I look at your tilt is a little bit still on the ferry tilt here. By this point, ideally it is switched. And because you do this big stroke on your on side, or even two of them, it takes a minute for you to switch. I would say you're just past flat tilt there, meaning now your right knee is finally lower. And look how little bow pinning wave there is on the inside of the turn because of that. So coming into this eddy, you're almost doing a little bit of a dive move. And something that I think could have helped would have been a switch to your cross forward here, trusting that the relative direction of the eddy current compared to this current would send you on the spin without you needing to do these extra onsides. Look how much your stern starts to skid around after that second onside. And so here you end up needing to do a stern correction because your turn gets too tight. So leave that turn open, establish the edge early, switch the carve early, diminish that bow pinning wave on the inside so it's not diving you down the eddy. And then you can simply stay on your cross forward here to accelerate on the carve to the exit. Let's look at some related things here, or seemingly related. You'd expressed concern about momentum and generating momentum. And what I would argue is that you have lots of momentum coming into this move. In fact, more than you can really overcome to get cross current. So I think the main issue that was giving you trouble here is actually position. What I mean by that is if we were to pull up a video of another paddler who had some success like spinning through this or carving through this center eddy, there's an entry angle using much more of this wave. And what that does when we're able to get in there is it generates a whole lot of bow pressure. You get a little bit of bow pressure here. You can see that bow wave. And the stern is in such clear glassy water and this edge is engaged almost down in the trough of the wave, catching some downstream current with a little bit more of a direct entry angle edged right, your lower knee down. I suspect you would start to experience some spin momentum off of the wave, and you could switch which side you're paddling on and carve through this eddy. Like you highlighted, I thought it was a pretty accurate self-assessment. Strong management here, like you run this on a ferry angle, maintain that ferry angle, get a little bit of a boost from the wave there. And you talked about having trouble with momentum, and what I would offer is a lot of what you're doing here is more like a draw stroke. And you could switch either to your forward stroke, or if you don't want to point too far upstream, your cross forward stroke here. So I hope that helps you think about river features that you can use to unlock the carving potential of this boat rather than feeling like you need to drive it all from your stroke work. This is a big boat. This is a long version of a solo canoe, and it is wide where you're sitting at it. So I think that at some point you will grow more comfortable reaching across to your cross forward, trusting the tilts to give you more clearance on that cross forward. And you'll also need to be watching for features you can use to help deflect the 7 feet of bow that you have in front of you. That's almost a whole kayak length you have in front of you there. Mike, it's been great working with you. I look forward to our last day or two. Keep zooming in on this stuff. Thanks so much.